All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that's a very quiet good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. We are really excited to be here. My name is Magdalene Kuman, and I am working together with the Ministry of Community, Social and Community Development, Housing, and Gender Affairs as a CUSO volunteer. And that means I'm working with an international development organization here in Grenada, and I'm a volunteer. So what I'll be doing today is that I will be moderating this session for this parenting session. To our viewers online, we want to welcome you to this session. Today we are at Willis in St. George, Grenada, and we have a wonderful group of parents who are here with us. To get us going, I'm going to invite Ms. Tomisha for prayers.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all. Let us reverend God. Father God, we thank you for your blessings, for bringing us here safe today, this afternoon. We thank you for each and every one of us here that is gathered. We thank you for our PS. We thank you for all of our ministry staff, Father God. We ask that you will bless our session this afternoon. Let it be interactive. Let each of the persons who are represented here to take home a message, Father God. And do not forget our online viewers and each and every one in the community of Willis. Amen.
I would like to acknowledge the presence of Ms. Petal Rush, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Ms. Loris Pascal, In-Country Support Officer, Borishi, with CUSO International, and Ms. Chrissy Worm, who is the Director of Social Services in the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing, and Gender Affairs. So why are we here today? On May 15th, the United Nations has dedicated that particular day for International Day of Families to highlight the importance of families and their role in community development. This is not just happening in Grenada. It's a day across the globe. And we are happy that the ministry has taken on the initiative, as they have done in the years before, to ensure that they are bringing families together in the community to be able to have a dialogue, to talk and to enrich you further in developing parenting skills. It's really important because, as you know, if all families are strong families in Grenada, guess what? Grenada would be an amazing place. Okay? So this is why we are here today. And the theme for these, what we call informational sessions for parents, the theme is empowering families, building inclusive communities. For those of you who are online, we warmly welcome you. And as you are following and observing what's happening here, we want to encourage you to like, to share, to comment, and to help us have a sense. You can comment so that we can know how you are receiving the service, how you are able to participate. So please write down your comments. We have some dedicated staff here from the ministry who will be reading what you're writing, and we'll do our best to respond to you. Sounds good? Yes? All right, so without any further ado, I would like to welcome Ms. Petal Rush, Permanent Secretary for Social Development and Gender Affairs, to address you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for that warm welcome. Just want to recognize the Director of Social Services, Ms. Chrissy Worm Charles. I would also like to recognize Ms. Kuman, who has been played a pivotal role during these sessions. Ms. Jacqueline, who is part of also Crusoe International, our facilitators, members of the ministry, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out here today. It's really a pleasure to be here in Willis. I must say, I've been in here a number of times, but that's the first time I've been to the community center. And I feel elated to see how many of you are here today. As you know, as Ms. Kuman mentioned, International Family Day will be held on the 15th. And of course, the ministry, being one very proactive, thought it prudent to come to the community level to meet with families. And this is important because we know families is one of the foundational pillars of a nation. Whatever happens in a family has a ripple effect across the nation, whether positive or negative. Therefore, it's crucial that we as a ministry come out and have these engagement sessions with you to impart knowledge, skills, and also to hear from you how we can help you to grow as parents. As we know, parenting is one of the critical roles in a family. It can be challenging, it has its joys, its sorrows, but at the end of the day, you are tasked with the responsibility of nurturing the future of this nation. Therefore, we as a ministry are here with the various experts to impart certain skills and knowledge to help you as you administer care to your children and to help them grow to be better citizens. So we admonish you, please, we are not here to talk down to you, but to speak with you and to invite you to a dialogue, to hear what we are saying, and we are open to your questions and even advice so we can better serve you as a ministry. So thank you so much for coming out. We look forward to an engaging session, and our facilitators are ready and willing to meet you where you are. And of course, if during the sessions you may be shy, after, we are open to any questions. You can talk with our staff. They are here. Many of them have their T-shirts with the Parenting Unit logo. So you can have a conversation with them, dialogue, and of course, we are here to serve you. So enjoy the rest of the session, and we look forward to an engaging event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Petal Rush. I cannot tell you how appreciative I am of the Honorable Minister, Gloria Ann Thomas, and Ms. Petal Rush. They have really been supporting this activity. And this week, we started on Monday. We were in St. Patrick's. We met with a lot of parents in St. Patrick's. Yesterday, we were at Monthorn. We were at Monthorn. Today, we are at Willis. And on Monday, we are going to be in Guave, correct? And then on Tuesday, we are going to be in St. David's. So for those of you who are online and you are in any one of those communities, please feel free to join us at our next session. Yes.
I apologize. I forgot to mention, I must extend regrets on behalf of the minister. She has been partnered with us over the last couple of days, but due to conflicting schedules, she had to be at another place. She wanted to be in two places at the same time, but she couldn't, and she had asked me to extend her regrets, and she looked forward. She will be looking online and ensure that she sees what is being said so that we can respond accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Petal Rush. So what will we be discussing this afternoon? We have 4 topics, and we have 4 amazing experts in the house who will be facilitating those discussions with us. First of all, we are going to look at the discipline versus punishment. This session will be facilitated by Ms. Dale Neptune. Next, we'll be looking at parenting in the electronic era. This will be facilitated by Mr. Andy Matthew. Thirdly, we'll be looking at child abuse awareness and prevention, which will be facilitated by Mr. Anderson Richardson. And then we'll be looking at healthy and unhealthy relationships, which will be facilitated by Miss Colette Jeffrey Charles. Those of you who are online, keep looking out for each of these presenters because each of them will be presenting something different. Now, for the audience here, I want us to do an activity. So you're going to have to get up from your seat. Miss Pascal and Mr. Anderson, I want to get the two of you up here. So, listen to the directions. Everybody's going to stand. I am going to read a statement. If you agree to that statement, you run to Miss Pascal. She's yes. Yes to that statement. If you don't agree, you come to Mr. Anderson. Let's stand up, everybody. I know it's a hard day, but I need to get you moving, and I know it's going to be hot. All right, so come on, everybody, let's play the game. Let's get together. All right, so the first statement, I love my kids. If you agree to that, you run to Miss Pascal. I love my kids. If you love your kids, you go, and you go fast. We need to do it fast, 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 fast. I love my kids. You love your kids? Oh my goodness, everybody love their kids? Give yourselves a big clap. You love your kids. That's amazing. Okay, next statement. I find parenting stressful. If you agree, you stay here. If you disagree, you go over there. I find parenting stressful. Answer it for yourself. You don't have to look at your neighbor. If you find it stressful, you go over there. If you find it stressful, you stay there. If you don't find it stressful, you're over here. Okay. Why you find it stressful? Is it stressful?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss, it's stressful. What is the most stressful part about it? Not listening? Okay, she said not listening.
The kids not listening, yeah?
Some of the kids are not listening. How many of you feel that it's stressful because the kids are not listening? Okay, let's hear from that group. You don't feel parenting is stressful, right?
Sometimes it's very stressful, not all the time.
Yes, so everybody here feel it's stressful? Okay, and those over here say it's not stressful? All right, let's look at the next sentence. Next statement, listen. I had a wonderful relationship with my parents. If you say yes, stay over there. If you say no, come over here. So everybody over here had a wonderful relationship? All right, so we are going to break it down. Somebody say, well, parents, I had it with my mom, but not my dad. So I'll break it down. I had a wonderful relationship with my mom. If it's yes, go over there. If it's no, stay here. It's okay, you switch. Okay, so what was the why was your mom such a wonderful person? I want to hear your voice. Somebody tell me, why was your mom a wonderful person?
Well, for me, my mom was a wonderful person because no matter what she was going through, she was always there for us, always there.
Okay, she said her mom was a wonderful person because no matter what they were going through, she was always there for them. Why do you think your mom was not a wonderful person? I want us to listen very carefully because all what we are talking about there, it's parenting. Why?
My mother has favorites, so I'm not she favorite, and yet I'm her firstborn. Oh, it made me feel like I'm small. You understand? When my sister was born, when I was 9.5 years old, that was her world. So it's like I was shunned in the back. And then something bad had happened to me when I was 13. So it's like she put the blame game and the shame game and everything. So after that, we don't have a relationship. And right now, another thing happened recently involving my child. So right now, we are at no contact, period, right now.
All right, thank you for sharing. That's a lot. Yes, and she wants to also talk.
When you needed her the most, she was never there. When you needed her the most, she was never there.
Thank you for sharing. Your words carry power. Your words are important, and it's important for us to acknowledge where we are in these relationships. Okay, I'm going to ask another one. I have a wonderful relationship with my father. If that's yes, stay over there. If it's no, come over here. I have a wonderful relationship with my father. Thanks. Okay, so now I'm going to ask the same question. What made your father, what made him wonderful? These people here all say they have a wonderful relationship with their father. Yes? What was wonderful about your dad?
Well, he always been there for me.
Okay, so she said her dad has always been there for her. Over on that side, I'm going to call that gentleman. What makes...
Well, he was not really there for me when I was young. And when I needed him the most, he was not there, so that's why.
Okay, thank you. He said when he needed his dad the most, he was not there for him. Okay? And that's very powerful.
Well, for father, my grandfather played the most important role in my life. For mother, my grandmother, which she passed last year, a few days to my birthday, she played the most important role in my life. Then my uncle played the most important role in my life. So my mother and father, negative.
Okay, thanks. That's also very powerful. Okay, so I'll do my last question before we go back to our seats. I want to have an amazing relationship with my children or my child. If you agree with that, you run over here. If you disagree, you stay over there. All right. So, big hand of applause to you guys for playing. We know that your heart is in the right place. You are here tonight because you want to have that wonderful relationship. Please, let's have a seat. Miss Pascal and Mr. Richardson, thank you. Okay, so once again, the theme for our parenting informational sessions is empowering families and building inclusive communities. We all want this beautiful, wonderful, positive relationship with our children. And that's why it's so important, and that's why the ministry is doing this work, so that we invest in you. Invest in our children. And by doing so, we are investing in the future for a peaceful, safe Grenada. Because if every family can do the right things, our country has the chance to be a better society in the future. Do you agree with that? Yes, all right. So I'd like to welcome Miss Dale Neptune, who will be doing a session called Discipline versus Punishment. Now, Miss Dale Neptune is an expert. It's not anybody we pick off the street, eh? These are important people. She is a community-oriented individual with a strong passion for service. She actively volunteers in various communities across Grenada, bringing her experience on compassion to every initiative. As a certified and trained parenting facilitator and life skills coach with over 18 years of experience, Dale has made a lasting impact. She has worked extensively with families, young adults, and youth in crisis, providing guidance, support, and empowerment through her dedicated efforts. Let's welcome Miss Dale Neptune. Come on, Miss Dale.
Hog up and thing.
Well,
And so on.
Good evening.
Who you? Hello, excuse me.
You know him? Listen to me.
I know, I think you just drive bus. You're the boss man on the road, right?
Yes, it's me.
Yes.
Listen, I have a problem with your children.
Don't point me, please.
I have a problem with your children.
Put down your hand when you're talking to us. You see me and my husband here?
Every time my children ride me bus, they pay me 50 cents and 25 cents.
What? Mr. Man, me and my husband working hard to send we children
Watch
to
this big
school.
dog, give me that.
Put down your hand.
Hold it right there.
Hello.
Matter of fact, I don't see you. I don't see you.
Hello.
I see you.
And we
I see you.
Usually
Miss Bing Bing,
give
them children
our
don't pay
children.
me the correct fee.
Don't talk louder than me, please.
Miss Bing Bing, I
Hold
said them children
Hold
don't
on.
pay the right fee.
Listen.
Don't talk to me.
Listen to me, sir. We working hard to send our children to school. Plus, we give them money for break, money for lunch. Look at my husband here.
I don't dispute that, you know. But you ever ask them if they pay the bus the right fee?
Well, they're supposed to.
They're supposed to.
So, how long they're going on?
A long time now. Them children just dropping 50 cents and $1. You know how much for gas?
Well, no, Hosey, they ain't singing, right?
But
well,
why you
all
never
you...
tell us before?
Yeah, fine,
Well,
something.
I'm telling you now. And so you're telling us? Yes.
Hold on. Tommy Sean, come. This, I can't take no bad face here. What's going on? The busman have a complaint. Mr. Anderson says you're not paying the bus.
No, mommy, he lying. They're not true. We always pay.
Mommy, he really lied too. That man don't talking the truth.
You want to give me children bad name or something? Me family bad?
Miss Bing, you think I'll come quiet here and lie with children? Ask them again.
Well, I don't know. I baffle here, no?
Mommy, the man lie.
So, how much money y'all pay the bus this morning?
Mommy, I give me full money. He just collect $2 from us. I give him.
Y'all hush him out there, we pay the man.
That was song right. That was song right. Look at me. How much money you give him? Tell me, I don't vex.
Daddy, ask her, she's the older one.
Okay. Tell me, come. You give him all the money?
That is two of us. I give him man the money. $2.
So $2 for two of you?
All right. How much money? How long that's been going on? So, we're going to deal with it. We're going to talk to you. But the way you talked to my wife when you came, I don't like it. Don't practice that. Because if I'm coming to you, I wouldn't speak to you like that. Okay? So me and your wife going to sit down, talk. We're going to talk to our children, and we'll come and sort you out. Is that okay?
You handle that like a real general. Are the kind of upset too, eh? So you have to kind of pardon me tone. Are the kind of upset too. You understand? But you know, I go forgive them. It's all right. So just tell them next time when they ride the bus, pay the proper fare. Because you handle me right, I go behave right. All right? I go pardon them this time.
But you know something? We supposed to tell you thank you for dropping the children. And because we know the struggle for bus in the morning and the evening. So girls, we feeling bad, eh? And do y'all have something to say to Mr. Anderson?
Mommy and Daddy, please don't beat us. We used to spend the money in truth. Mr. Anderson, we're sorry. We would never do it again. Mommy and Daddy, we're sorry. Please don't beat us.
Sorry, Mr. Anderson. We didn't really mean to spend the money, but you know, at times we just get hungry. Mommy and Daddy, I'm so sorry that we spend the money. Next time we won't do it again.
Hungry? All this food we giving all you there, all you still hungry? All you too greedy? I don't understand. And all you live in nice provision and saltfish while you buying out the road. But anyway, so we sorry. And Hosea and I, we had to work it out.
Thank you, and I'll go deal with all you later.
Bus driver, come back, bus driver, come back, bus driver, come. You know, we made a decision as the family. We're no longer going to give the children money every day. We were trying to help them to manage their finances. But you know what? We will give them the money every week so that they can ride on your bus without any complaints and smooth.
We will pay you monthly. So here is the first month. Once it's done, we'll do this.
And thanks for taking care of our children, and we appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see your children there? Yes. And are they bad people? Are they bad people for spending the money? What happened? Why are they spending this money? Because the children say they're hungry. Right. So today, did you notice the solution? Did you notice? So today we're talking about discipline versus what? Punishment. What discipline did you see in the skit? Did you notice? What was the discipline the parents gave to the children? What did you notice? Huh?
Say, don't do it next time.
Don't do it next time. What else?
He didn't yell at them.
Pardon me?
He didn't yell at them like how old-time parents used to yell at us.
They did?
Like how our parents used to yell at us and want to embarrass us in front of the bus driver. You see how you was calm, yeah, and telling them, you know, what is right from wrong, unlike back in the days. So you was very calm about it, but you were stern and firm about it.
Right, we have another parent. Say, hold on, I'm coming.
You gave them an opportunity to explain themselves.
Yes, listening.
Instead of giving them the money, you pay the driver a monthly allowance to carry the children to avoid such things from happening again.
So you notice, thank you for sharing, you notice we had positive punishment. Hello, Daddy. Now, these situations, do we always solve them in this nice, pretty, calm way? Imagine you're giving your children money for bus, and next thing you've been accused of not paying the bus. How would you feel? Especially if they attack you in a particular way. You will be feeling bad. So today, we're going to talk about discipline and also positive punishment, right? Most of us grew up with a sort of draconian punishment. Yesterday, somebody said their parents had them kneeling on grater. They were withholding food from them and withholding different things. What sort of discipline or punishment do you mete out to your children when they do things? How do you handle that at home? So somebody say beat them.
Yeah, I get a lot of lash.
You get a lot of lash?
Yeah.
What so you used to do?
Well, when they send me, I don't go in. When they send me in the shop, I eat all the saltfish. I eat the saltfish, I eat the smoker. When I reach over here, I get a lot of lash.
So when you eat the saltfish and the smoker now, nothing for supper? So
because I eat all.
So that time your belly full. So in a case like today, parents, and this thing happened. Now, let me share something with you. Last week, a parent said to me, she sent her son with $50 to buy a packet of macaroni. She said she didn't really want the macaroni, but she wanted some change so they can get for their lunch. She didn't see macaroni. She didn't see $50. However, the young man came home. I think she said it maybe after 6 while outside bright. Came home some after 10. Calling the phone, no answer. So she said she get piece of pipe. She put it on. She said she go outside and pick piece of sauce up brand. She put it on. And something else, I don't remember, but she never called Belt. And because she was so angry that, but however, while she was angry and she was looking at the different objects, she selected to put down the lashes. She realized, she said, you know what? I say I'll go kill him. Because she's so angry for the money, and kill not literally, but with lash. But then she said, by the time 10 o'clock, she got calm, right? And I said, thank God you got calm, because if you had dealt with him with the anger which you were feeling, then something terrible would have happened. Now, how is it for you these days in terms of disciplining your children, making sure that they listen to you? Or how easy it is? It tough? You're still old school, so what are some of the things you do?
I got more old school with me, but you know, as I have a teenager, I got to tighten the strap. And of course, with my husband, he just try to be the one calm because he know I'm much more hot-headed. So I would take away, of course, the video games, the electronics and stuff, but also just put on some lash too. I ain't go front, but not to the extent where I'm gonna kill her. You understand? Because you know how fathers are with their girl children. Yes. So, yes. Yes, so, but I mean, I'm not like how when I was growing up, the way that I was dealt with. Right. You understand?
Right, I need to hear from any fathers want to make a response? Your father and a mother?
For my children to be listening to me, I don't say God watching. So as soon as they start behaving in a type of way and I talk to them, I don't say God watching. And then they go see, come, hey, mommy, your mouth. And then he go come and he listen.
Right, you know, sorry, David. My 6-year-old grandson, my daughter tried to calm him by when she said, you know you're really sinning. He hate to hear about people sinning. So you'll say, all right, mommy, we good. Right? Because he don't want to be seen as a sin and what Jesus don't like. Because, you know, you have to find ways of, or words that really catch them here, right? And we know some of them, in the stage of development, like you say, you have a teenager, that's a crisis age, and you have to find solutions, right? The solution that may work for you may not work for her child, and differently. Right, so today we're dealing with positive punishment as we saw earlier on today, right? We're talking about extra chores. How do you manage that at home?
I just made them start to wash their own clothes. Their school's clothes, their home clothes, everything. Make their own breakfast, everything. Cook their own lunch, everything. Mommy, well, you're wicked. I said, no, well, we boil along to the facts. Wash your own clothes, make your own breakfast, do everything, but you have to go to school on time.
Right. So is she doing something correct? How do you feel about that? You don't like that?
If the child is like 5, 6, so you make them wash their own clothes and make their own breakfast? They're too young for that.
How old? From which age? 12. Okay.
Well, 12 years can make their own breakfast, yeah.
So what are they? Is this too many things for them to do?
Yes, I find.
Okay, hold
I mean, if not to get up and make their own breakfast, wash their clothes.
Okay, let's have one session. Let's have one session. Right, go ahead.
Well, for me, I have an 18-year-old and my twins are 9. Now, if my twins do something that, to me, they shouldn't have done, I will take away all their gadgets, like the tablet. I will take away the remote so they cannot watch any TV. And I will send them in the books, let them do something positive until they're ready, to do the right things.
No, so one of the positive punishments we grew up with was the chores, right? But I thought, to me, it was too much, right? No, I used to be lifting 5-gallon, you all know the 5-gallon paint bucket? No, we didn't have any water. So I had to lift that, and to make things easier, I used to lift 2 of them, right? Now, I was a little thing like that, but I am lifting the 2, put down, when I reach a part, lift again, put down, and so the water had to bathe my siblings and myself, had to cook. We had rabbit and I had sheep to take care of, so that take care of me going to school. And do you know, if one leaf should fall in the yard after you sweep, they're doing like what? You still have to pick it up because it's not clean enough. So, but the extra chores here, we're talking about children now because a lot of parents, they are not structuring their children well in terms of doing things. Parents are saying to me that the children lie down inside the room, wouldn't come out, the bed romper, they're on the phone, they're not even coming to use the washroom. Right? They're not brushing their teeth, and parents quarreling and say, oh, all you won't do it, I'm tired with all you. Let me do my thing for myself. Right? So structure. So for the 2 nights, parents said that they withheld dinner or something like that. Should we withhold food? Right. So what should you replace that with as a form of disciplining for them to understand that you're in charge and they have responsibilities and that this will help groom them and shape them into a better adult? Things that they like what? So we had privileges. Reduce privileges. What are the privileges we're going to reduce? Device, TV, what else? However, they do need the device. So what can you let them use the device to do? Homework, school. How about looking at Mikey Live or the news? How about that? Because these days they do not want to look at the news. So that's what I'm saying. You put on the TV, on the news. Right. So we talk about, how about the school fair? How about the school fair? Okay. So someone at the back wants to share. What you can do as well is to sit with the children, because a lot of times they're on their own, unsupervised, because we are trying to wash the dishes, clean the house, put food on the table, and do all of that, and they fend for themselves. So another way to keep them together with you, so you know what is happening, is find some time. So if you're cooking, let them be in the kitchen with you. Take the onion, bring out the flour, season the meat with you. Let them cook with you. They are doing their homework. Even if you don't know what it is that they are doing, you sit with them, right? Parent here, mommy said is 18 and 9 of her children. The bigger one could help supervise the small one, all right? So, and we dealt with the extra homework. Extra homework does not necessarily mean it have to be something from the classroom. It could be something on the topic that they can research and to read some more, all right? Let's do it. So we have, I think, how is my time? I have 5 minutes. So for discipline, always try to discuss things with your children and not shout down to them. Discuss with them. Listen to their opinion. Don't tell them much. Give me a chance, my mother used to say. Give me a chance, oh gosh. And we like, mommy, yes. Mommy, yes. Oh gosh. Anybody usually say that? Yes. Give me a chance.
I say I experience the same thing.
Right, she said she experienced the same thing. And we notice our children these days, their IQ is very high and they know a lot of things. Don't shut them down. Investigate when they come with a story. Notice in the skit, we did investigate. And notice they were still saying that the bus driver was telling lies. So some parents take for their children and not investigating if the story is true. And some children, they do a lot of wrong things, and the parent did not investigate, all right? So investigate, keep on questioning, probing questions. Keep to structure and consistency, all right? So if you say they're supposed to be home at a time or in bed at a time, don't do it 2 nights, and the next 2 nights you get fed up. You have to be consistent, so then they will respect you some more. If you start 2 nights, 3 nights, and you fall out, they would start losing respect for you because they realize mommy's a papi show, daddy's a papi show. They're not sticking to their word, right? Always play. Who play with the children? What games you play with them? Dominoes, tag, boy, girl, country, eat, drink. That one is an old one. I used to play this one. Scavengers, Monopoly, tic-tac-toe. And when you play with them, do you feel the connection? Because y'all laugh and y'all in a good mood, right? So always try to keep this consistently. And then we say you have to notice their positive behavior. When they behave well, what should you do? Not necessarily give them material, but keep on complimenting them. I notice that you are doing this thing. I notice you are changing. I am proud of you. Keep on keeping on, all right? Don't just wait for when they do something wrong and you're ready to pounce up on them, okay? And do your children throw tantrums, vex, cursing, quarreling? Sometimes you're watching them on the side, but you don't always have to respond. They will eventually stop, especially those under 5, right? But you're looking at them on the side of your eye, looking to see what will go. Afterwards, when they realize you're not paying attention, what happens? They just stop, right? And the last part of it, there are times when you have to apologize, both of you. You said, this week I was feeling frustrated. This week things was not going well on work or with the family or with me or whatever. Don't be afraid to let them know, because they see you as super mommy and super dad, that you cannot be sick, that you always have money, you could never be tired, and everything like that, right? So sometimes you have to let them know and listen to them as well. All right, so I think I have 2 minutes. So I hope that now, when it comes to discipline versus punishment, there's a thin line. And in terms of how, what stage of development your child, teenagers, they behave in one particular way, under 10, under 5, over 20. Everybody's child is different. And try not to make comparison and say, hey, you don't see Miss Jones' child, why you can behave so, she's so nice going in Boca Secondary, look, she taking part in sports, and she's singing and dancing, what you? Nothing, you like a good for nothing, right? I'm spending all my money, blah, 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 blah. No. Everybody's child is different, and everybody's child blossom and develop at different stages. All right, so as you continue to strive for better families, for better in yourselves and your children with improvement, one last thing I say, don't forget to pray with them as well and make that consistent, whether it's 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And most of you have the children on WhatsApp. Send a nice little prayer for them, or voice notes. Let them hear your voice. Mommy love you, God bless you, and all of these things. So thank you all for listening, and thank you all for participating, and I wish everybody well. Thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you so much, Miss Neptune. Give her another big hand of applause. As a parent myself, I raised 4 children. They are all adults now. And 2 of the things I felt that really helped keep my children together, I was a single parent for most of that time, was cooking and eating together, praying together, and reading together in the evenings. Eating together, it's really, really important. The more things we can do together with our children, you will realize there's a less need for discipline, right? Because they are always with you. And while they are together with you, they are also developing skills, life skills, that will help them more in their lives. Okay? So next on the agenda, we have Miss Colette Jeffrey Charles, who will be talking about healthy and unhealthy relationships. For our viewers online, we would love to hear how you are feeling about those sessions. Please remember to like, comment, and share this broadcast so that other parents in Grenada can also see what's happening here. So Miss Colette Jeffrey is a well-trained, experienced, and certified parenting facilitator. She has been with the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs for the past 13 to 14 years. She brings to the table a wealth of experience, having facilitated several parenting cycles in various parts of Grenada over the years. She's a dynamic speaker and one who brings positive motivation to the table. Welcome, Miss Jeffrey Charles.
Thank you, Willis, and it's always a pleasure to be here. Oh, y'all quiet so? Good night, ladies. I pausing tonight. I showing off tonight. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. You have men. Big up to them men. Big up. Anybody else? No? So we always happy to have y'all. Y'all feel warm among us, ain't it? You feel warm among the ladies? You feel good and excited? How else you feel? Tell me. Anyway, Willis, I'm no stranger to this. Persons who been here last year and so on, y'all know. What about if I tell you all tonight that I'm taking you all to a parenting journey? I just say, just on board. I just drop in Willis and I say, good night, everyone. I'm taking you all to a parenting journey. You all go say, let's go. I find this lady here. You trust me? You trust me? You will go on the journey? Huh, you're not. You trust me, girlfriend, Daki? Well, you know me to trust me. But you just trust the vibe. She said, anybody don't trust? What? Give me a high five. Right, somebody said don't trust. Tonight I really want to take you all to a parenting journey. It's always a pleasure, and I'm passionate about this, right? And the reason why I'm passionate, because everybody's child is mine. So I can't tell you all how much children I have. I have plenty children. Yes, I have a lot, plenty children. Nevertheless, sorry? She say I'm Mama Uganda. Yes, I find. Right. So that's me. Tonight, we really want to go on a parenting journey, and I want you all to be with me in this. My pretty friend in the back there said that she don't trust. And girlfriend here, another person say, yeah, they trust, so we could go on that journey. What about a situation where we are in St. George and we have to take a bus, public vehicle, and you tell your mom or your sister from Canada, no, I don't trust him. He drives too reckless. I don't trust this driver. Am I making sense? Yes, sometimes we do it. We say, nah, I'm not riding this bus. I don't trust him. He's driving too reckless. I want to reach home safe in Jesus' name. Am I making sense? Yes, it happens. And even some of us, I heard a colleague one time said that she not sleeping in no private vehicle unless it's her husband. Yes? Well, me, I'm not sure if my husband listening, but if it's my husband are driving, I still not sleeping. I still not sleeping, but my colleague said, girl, Colette, if it's my husband, I sleeping away. That means she trusts him. Yes, man, she trusts him. And earlier on, we used that example. That means you're not taking your Canadian sister on the public bus because you don't trust him. He's driving reckless. You say, nah, girl, we enjoying life too much. Yes? What about we move from the public and private vehicles and we get a plane ticket to go to Australia? We're not going to America. We're going to Australia. Y'all, I mean, we know the whole vibes. Y'all ever sitting on an airport and you hear the air hostess or the airport workers official come out and say, ladies and gentlemen, this is our pilot. Y'all ever heard this? Who said so? Right. Okay. So respect this one. But the majority of the times, we don't know. And guess what? Even if we're on the public bus, some of us who are drivers, we're pressing brakes and things, we're jamming, we're doing all sorts of things because we want to help control, we want to trust we want to trust the vibes. So we're fighting and we're helping to control. Hello? When we're in the plane up there and we get in the turbulence, in, out, we there, we fighting up. We eating, some persons I know drinking wine, but we in there. Why? We trust. We believe without a doubt that we will reach our destination, so to speak. We believe without a doubt. God, Father, just help. Some of us never pray in life. But we pray in turbulence, mommy laughing. Plane shaking, he going up, he going down. But all you want the speaker to say, ladies and gentlemen, we are 15 minutes away from landing. Can you please put on? We get excited. Yes? And sometimes we do not even know who are speaking to us. They put on the speaker and they, ladies and gentlemen, and this is all we hear. Welcome to Australia. We clap because we experience safe landing. ladies and gentlemen, tonight of Willis, just so our sons and daughters want to trust us. Our children want to trust the initiative. They want to trust the vibes. I speak in blog vibes tonight, you know. They want to trust the thing, man. They want to trust us, girlfriend laughing. They want to be on that plane with us. They want to be on that journey as we are journeying tonight, but they want to trust us. You all don't expect for me to stand up in front here and just start stripping naked and I have on a bikini on. You don't trust me. And I just start taking things and pelting. You all don't trust. But earlier on, girlfriend said that she trusts me. She probably said, probably she could handle, man. I trust she could handle. Ladies and gentlemen of Willis, just so we beg upon you all for our sons and daughters to trust us. Our sons and daughters see us as the pilot. That they never even able to get an introduction. Because they never asked to be in this world. They just come. Some of them were planned. Some say by mistake. Some say by this. Some say by that. And they come. So it's like we purchase the ticket. We on the airport. This is how they see us. Am I making sense? This is how our sons and daughters see us. We're talking healthy and unhealthy relationship. In a healthy relationship, you must be able to trust. Even if we navigate this journey a little and we step outside of the box, and we ask the ladies in here, what do you want in a man, a future husband? Or we ask the guys, the men in here, what do you want in a future wife? Some of us will say, you married yet? You don't want a married girl? She's smiling. Tell me something, some attribute, something that you go want in a man. You feel comfortable to tell me? Happiness. Girlfriend, pretty, tell me. I like that one. Loyalty. She want to trust the vibes. She didn't want to be here in Willis, and he say he walking, he's a hotel here in True Blue. When you do hear the cry, girlfriend, he in Granats up in Golf Course. You won't trust the vibes? You ain't like this? Am I making sense? Are we going somewhere? You have to trust the vibes. Just so our children want to trust us. Listen, my PS is here, my director is here. I just given up the mic to this lady. She spoke about security and safety. She jumped the gun a little bit, but nevertheless appreciate. Y'all, our sons and daughters want to trust us. I charge you all tonight. Let your sons and daughters, your nieces, your nephews, cousins, because we little children here, they want to trust us. They didn't ask to be on board. However they came, God knows. It is our responsibility now to lay all the carpet so that our sons and daughters could trust us. And before I leave tonight, I want to just touch on one thing where trust is concerned. Safety. Our children want to feel safe. Hello, we're talking about healthy and unhealthy relationship. If you went into the bus, God forbid, and the bus met in an accident, there is a lot of things that you wouldn't trust again. There is a fear, a phobia. I can't do this again. I'm not riding with him again. You don't trust again. But if you land safe, nice music, and especially when you pay your fare and they say, girlfriend, have a good day, big up yourself. You say, yeah, man, enough respect. You're sitting down in the office, a lot of work, but you're having a good day. Based on the landing approach. You trusted the initiative. You trusted the vibes. I want our sons and daughters to trust us. You have your kukuja, you have your man, your main squeeze, you have your girlfriend, your wife, your significant other, and all of us just champion. Mean trust see this man and them these days, boy. Mean trust that girl and them girl these days. Just so we want our children to trust us. We have to grow up our children in a safe environment. Hello? Trust starts from in there. I'm not talking about the sex part, because the sex will cause you to get impregnated in the first place. And if I start to talk about the sex part, please mashing up your next week be a session. So we're not talking about this tonight. No, we're not talking about this tonight. We're talking about from in there. Talk to baby. The ministry invests in us, and they gives us the responsibility to go out and to do antenatal clinic as parenting facilitators. And when we go, we encourage the pregnant mothers. Speak to your baby. Bond with them. And whenever I go to do the clinic, they're probably listening on live. I usually just pinpoint, when last did you speak to baby? And they are honest. They say, last night. I say, 0. When last you spoke to baby? This morning, 0. When last you spoke to baby? Just now. I'm giving a 10 out of 12. You speak to baby every moment. Remember, we're speaking about a trust affair. Well, I'm calling you and getting you on the phone. What kind of vibes is that? And you're telling your girlfriend, I ain't trust him again. I used to get him 24/7. Am I making sense? When baby can't hear us, they in trust. They wondering what happening in there. They in trust. What is happening there? The plane just they rocking. Nobody ain't saying nothing. And then the Australian sitting by a white man, said, I don't understand what is happening here. What will you say? I don't understand either. We don't know. Plane turbulence thing. Nobody don't understand. That means you don't trust. Speak to your baby in there. Mommy and grandma, they could tell us, engage with your picnic in there from inside. Bond with them. They could trust you. We want them to trust us. We want them to say, I'm here, mommy. They know. A father told me, girlfriend between me and you, I ain't talking to baby in her ear yet. Baby in her head. I say, come in. I said to the daddy in the antenatal clinic, I said, brethren, the head and the ear, the nose, everything, it come in. Y'all, from in there. Don't wait until you give birth, you put up on Facebook, and you start showcasing to the world. Showcase now, in there. And then even if we skip a few months after, we expect to continue on our trust game. Our children need to trust us for safety. They need to trust us. They want that sense of belonging. Our children want to trust the process. They don't want you to tell them something. I don't believe mommy. And mommy told me so, I don't believe. They want you to make them believe. And so as a result, they are able to give others the trust story. Build trust in your children. Allow our sons and daughters to trust us. They need to be safe. If the children trust us, they will have less cases of sexual assault throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. You're saying, don't worry, Samaya, you'll be fine. I'm leaving you here with uncle, you'll be fine. The child trusts you. And then as you step to reach lower down to New Hampshire, something went wrong. Safety, trust. The next day and the next day and the next day. Samaya is only 3 years. And you will tell your neighbor, she spoiled too much. She not spoiled. She does not trust the process anymore because of what happened the day before. We're talking about trust and safety. When you have a partner and you trust him, you could sleep until Lana Kaye. Mom used to tell me that, I don't know what she mean. You're sleeping until grass turn gray because you trust the process. Instead, we invest in other things. We trust the banks. We put in all we money. Let me see who does put all the money in the bank. Look, my friend here. She give me a wink. Nobody don't know. We put in all of our money in the bank, in the credit union, because we trust them. We on the plane. We trust the captain. We trust them. Cruise is the order of the day. And we go out and we dancing. Take it easy. I will do the work. Don't think I know what's going on, you know. Man, we dancing. Take it easy. I will do. When we watch the boat, they far in Guam, we thinking it's in land, sapping down, so we go in. Because we trust the process. When we leave our children with the siblings, we leave our children with relatives, we leave our children with the caregivers. We leave our children with the educators. We leave our children with the bus operators. We leave our children at the shop owners in the supermarkets. We leave our children in the streets. This is not allowing them to trust the process. Guide your children in the right way. Tell them what is expected. Most of the time they will come on the plane and say it's safe. And sometimes even if we are running into something wrong, they fear to say, because they know that our lives are in danger. Tonight I charge you with the responsibility. Is your children's life at risk? Do they trust the process? Do you show up in the schools to find out who are the educators? Do you find out what bus they came in 2:30? Did you find out parents? You just send them to the groceries on their own and they come back with the chicken and the flour and the rice, and you cook and you think that everything is fine, and the next day you send them back to the same place and you think it's fine. But the third day the child decides, I'm not going there, I'm going to other place. Do you trust the children to whatever they will say to protect them? They're not going to that grocery anymore. They do not want to travel on that bus anymore. Can our children really trust us? Can our children really trust us? And some parents may say, I am the mother and the father. Oh, and you don't understand? I have a security job and I have to do everything to put bread on the table. And we leave our children on their own. This is not working anymore. We cease that operation. We stop. We done. Them Jamaican and them say, me done, me finish with this. We finish with this. I'm giving you all the responsibility tonight because we want our sons and daughters to trust us. Do our children really trust us to come and say that something went wrong? Safety. Somebody nodding, thank you. Can your daughter actually say, I will tell mommy, 11 years she has, and in her head there, I want to meet my mommy to tell, I can't wait. She running home. Or can your daughter actually navigate? She moved from that space and she go to auntie. Can she trust you? Can she trust your inner circle? You're inviting everybody at home for the... Can your children trust the process? We need... Yes, sweetheart.
It goes to show us that, you know, the world is changing, but when I was growing up and a few of us was growing up, I couldn't trust to tell my mother or my father anything because they didn't give me the chance to trust them. Especially I grew up kind of hard. I grew up in New York City, you understand? And a lot of hard things happened to me. So it's like I lost trust in each and every one of them. From the name calling, oh yes, I got called some harsh names. So it's like I develop an anger towards them and I don't have no trust with them. And even growing up, it's like I don't really have trust now. So that's why I said when I have my children, I mean, I go be old school, but yet at the same time, I want my daughter to trust me to tell me anything. You understand? I mean, I'm going through a situation right now where it's, I'm not going to say what it is, but like I said, I have no contact with my mom and a few of my family members because of what go on. So I have no trust with them, just like I didn't have no trust back then. I don't know if I know a few of us maybe feel the same way when we was growing up. You understand? So where was these kind of programs for them then? I mean, I can understand some parents, they didn't know better, but at the same time, it's not an excuse to how they used to treat us back then.
No, that was I have a daughter. You have a daughter. So you have a, can she trust you? Right. our session at Moncton, and I did the part of behavioral patterns. For a healthy relationship, we want our children to see good things so that they can model and behave in the right way because of healthy relationship. And so our sister is telling us tonight, for some reason or the other, in her upbringing, somewhere, and it seems as though it is handing down. It is handing down. So she made a statement, and everything in a nutshell is covering where trust is concerned. But not only that, she has a baby now. She has a daughter to care for. And she made a statement that touched me. I'm passionate about this. Ask anybody, I'm passionate about parenting. I am passionate about this. And she asked, where were the program before? This is why we're doing this. This is why we on sale, I call it sale, on an exhibition. We are being exposed, we are exposing ourselves. So that as a nation, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, we can bring changes. We believe once there is a little light in one community, a beacon, it can cause changes. Just a little light. And let me tell you something, you're strong. You can be that light. She can trust you. Even before she gave her point, I spoke about the ant and the inner circle. Have an inner circle that our sons and daughters can deposit in. Don't feel like how some of us as parents, why you go and tell me, sister? Why you didn't tell me? Why? I don't want them to know you be. They trust that sister. They trust the initiative. They look at auntie and they trust. Y'all, when we say parents, we're talking about aunts, uncle, caregivers, educators. The children trust me. They will come to me. And after which I will use a mature way to help you as the parent. So we playing that trust game tonight. There is not sufficient time. There is not sufficient time. We're just trying to give you the essence of it. And if we really do it, she's honest, we can be a beacon of light. There must be changes in the lives of our sons and daughters, in the way we parent. Even if I don't have little children, I see everybody on. I was standing outside, they admiring the children, and the bread van was blowing. And the child ran to me and said, what is happening? Bread. He trusts the process. He swear once he heard it, toop, 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 bread coming, I will get bread. How many of us as parents, caregivers, ministry officials, how many of us as the educators that we can say our place is open? It's like a sepulcher where our nation's children can come to us as a safe haven. How many of us? Somebody had their hand up. Y'all, we don't have about 3 more minutes.
Good night once again to everyone. Growing up, I had a tough life. And one of my key mothers that I grew up in the home with, she's here tonight, Ms. Bartholomew. I would like to recognize her tonight. That is one out of many. Yes, I get corrected a lot. Ms. Bartholomew, Ms. Hangs, Ms. Lashington, etc., and to great beyond. Also, I would like to recognize Mr. Richardson. He has been a very good advisor to me as well. There's many others, yeah? And still giving me that good guidance and knowledge and wisdom in going forward with my children. And I would like to say thank you to them, to all of them, yeah? There's a lot of them in high society, which if I go to call them, I will leave out a lot. Yeah? And I would like to say thank you to all of them. My children, I will let Ms. Bartholomew, they would like to speak to Ms. Bartholomew, Ms. Salisha Bishop, etc. And they get the same quoting that I get from them because I trust them all. There's a lot of them in Ministry of Social Development that I trust. But then again, confidentiality is a key that a lot of, you should say, counselors do not have. They say there are counselors here. They are not confidential. You speak to them now, before you walk out the office, you reach by the road, the whole of your neighborhood hearing what happened to you. Jane know, the neighbor know, even your boyfriend or your husband that you didn't even want to know what's going on, he getting to know what's going on. Confidentiality is a key. And I will say, my experience with those that I trust, you see, confidentiality, I love them all. Once my spirit give it you, I will talk to you, but there are things I won't say unless I trust you. So you have to know who you're talking with in society. You go to police officers for assistance that you want help with. They are not confidential. People don't even want to know what's going on. They get to know what's going on. They are not confidential. You're going to certain ministers for help and they're not confidential. They have special qualities in what they're looking for. They're not confidential. Y'all want to do things? You're looking for confidentiality, which is the key. Loyalty, it goes with every single thing. Confidentiality is a key. You want things to go proper way, fine, no problem. Where is the confidentiality? There is no confidentiality, and there will be nothing.
Pass the mic for the lady, please. Thank you. So she gave her bit of trust and encouragement to you. You made a post in persons that you have confidence and that you could trust. This is your inner circle. And that inner circle where you trust and not trust the person. They feel warm, they feel connected, they feel safe that they can trust.
Yes. All I wanted to say was, with our kids, with our children, if we start talking to them from since they're young, and when I say talking, I don't mean yelling and quarreling and stuff like that, but actually having conversations with them. How's your day? What you did today? What you had for lunch today? Because, and things like that. Ask them questions, engage with them. They will, in turn, learn to trust you, that if they have a problem, let's say when they go to school, they can come and talk to you. Because I remember an incident with my son. He met in a little fight in the school, and the afternoon he came home asking him about his day and stuff like that. He said, Mommy, I know you're going to be mad at me, but I fight today. I said, but why you fight? And he explained to me, we talk, I tell him you shouldn't do that and stuff like that. When we go to PTC now, the teachers say, I have no problems with him and stuff like that, but look at the incident that happened. I said, Miss, I know, he came and told me. And she was a bit surprised. So we need to engage with our children so that they can trust us.
So we have to end. Or start there. Get to know. When primary, what you're in more before we
to be mindful of parents, and I've been through it. Like sometimes you want to trust your parents and you tell them something, and then you hear daddy, auntie, nene, grandma, and then you're down the street. That's where confidentiality and all that trust issue comes in. And from our parents back then, we didn't have that, because everything you tell mommy, auntie have to know. This one have to know. And then sometimes, how you feeling now about the situation? You don't feeling bad already. Uncle had to meet you. Oh, so you had us to do this and you had us to do that. That is why with my children, I want to be different. So from speaking, as how she say, from small, and I used to always tell them, no matter the situation or how stupid it may sound in your mind, come with it, and we'll deal with it. Whatever you encounter, don't frighten. Whatever it is, we will deal with it. And then when you give them that level of trust, that it doesn't go beyond the door. Okay? It doesn't go beyond the door. Whatever you tell mommy and you going to deal with it. If I need help, then we speak about that also. So parents, don't take the little thing that we children and run with it. It's not a good idea.
So thanks again. have to close now. So confidentiality, confidentiality, confidentiality. And this is a big thing in trust. As I end tonight, I know the time is not sufficient. We have to do what we have to do. I just charge you all with the responsibility. This is a seed that we are sowing in this premises. Whatever we do tonight is a seed. Y'all, when we leave, water it. Water it in your homes. Water it. Pass on the info. Not only propaganda you have to pass on. Pass on the info. Impact person's life so that our children can trust the process. When they trust us, they trust the home, they trust the school, they trust the entire community. So I charge you with that responsibility tonight. Just so I am passionate, she is, and all of us are passionate about this. Let's raise this community with a high level of trust so that our children can be a better generation. Thank you very much.
Big round of applause for Ms. Jeffrey. The word of the night is trust. And I want to do a quick little activity with you for trust. And I'm going to share a little story with you, with my own children too. So, you know how you get your children involved in a lot of activities? I lived in Canada, and trying to get 3 kids across the city, soccer, football, gymnastics, whatever. After a while, I got really exhausted doing that. And I said to myself, Magdalene, what is it your children need most importantly? And I came to the conclusion what they needed was time with me. Time for us to do things together, to develop that trust process. And Mother Teresa, I'm going to quote something here. She said, what can you do to promote world peace? Go home and love your family. Sometimes we are so busy as parents. We are here, we are over there, the children are there, they are over there. And what happens in the process is that we begin to lose connection with the most important people in our lives, our children, but we are very busy connecting with everybody else. Okay, so tonight, I want to do a little activity with you. Put your hand on your heart. Let's do that together. Those of you who are online, please follow. Just place your hand on your heart and close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart. You need to trust me with this. Place your hand on your heart and feel that heartbeat. You are alive right now. You are here. Your heart is the connector between you and your child, between you and your parents. Tonight, I want you to release, just let go. Everything that has happened, if your kids did not trust you before, let it go. If you feel that you have done something that has not earned their trust, tonight, let's let that go. If others have hurt you and hurt you being a parent, let's let that go. Because tonight, we want to bring that love to our children. We want to invite them into our space. And as your hand is still on your heart, I want you to take a very deep breath. Breathe in very deeply. And then breathe out. We're going to do that 3 times. Let's go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Second time. Out. Third time. Breathe out. This time, I want you to bring your children in your imagination. If you have more than one child, pull each one of them in your imagination. See them in front of you in your mind's eye. And in your heart, I want you to tell them a message of trust. They cannot see you, they are not here with you right now, but they can feel your heart, your vibes. Right now, send them a message. Call them by their names. Tell them the name. Tell them in your mind, I love you. I'm sorry if I have hurt you. I'm sorry if I have given you reason not to trust me. Tonight, I want to be a better parent for you because I know that if I am a better parent, together we can be an amazing family. Trust yourself, trust your child, trust your heart. Let's take one more deep breath again. And release. Okay. Thank you. Every time you feel stress at home and you feel stress working with the children, put your hand on your heart. Your heart is your connector. It's there. And imagine, breathe. Your breath is life. It relieves stress all the time. Deep breathing. Okay? All right. Next presenter we have is Mr. Anderson Richardson. He's a teacher at both primary and secondary level. He had a short stint at the Royal Grenada Police Force. He served as a child protection officer for over 11 years, functioning within various capacities. He's currently employed as a gender program development officer with the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Additionally, he's a trained facilitator at the Legal Aid and Counseling Clinic. He is a community people who is interested in helping people. Mr. Anderson is very passionate about the work that he does with the ministry. And I must also say, he's the only one with the men's bureau. He's the one man we have at the men's desk. Grenada is doing really well, having a men's desk. Two. We have two? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were the only one. Come on, Mr. Anderson. Before you get into your session, maybe most people don't know what the men's desk is. Come, I want to do a quick interview with you. Can you tell us, what is the men's desk?
So the men's desk basically deals with the issues that men are having, developing programs for men. We have been doing a lot. We just had the Boys to Men initiative that climaxed in St. Patrick's, and we're now moving to St. Andrew. So we have several initiatives under the men's desk for men and boys. So you're not left out at all.
All right, that's a different topic for a different day. Today, he's going to be talking about child abuse awareness and prevention. Over to you.
All right, so good night, everybody. I know you have been sitting for a long time, but I want to beg of you your undivided attention, please. Because I believe that child abuse awareness and prevention is something very important. All right? I may say some things tonight that might be a bit triggering, that might rub you a bit hard, but it's not intentional. But those are some of the realities that we face as a people, even here in Grenada. All right? So I'm going to start off with some scenarios to get us a bit warm. Tom is 11 years old. He is often molested by an adult woman who touches him inappropriately. First of all, is that abuse? That is abuse, so we agree. What type of abuse is this? Sexual abuse, and that's correct. Samara's mother puts her hand in open flames as a means of punishment. Samara's mother puts her hand in open flame, meaning open fire, as a means of punishment. Is that abuse? What type of abuse is it? All right, so I'm looking at sexual, so it's physical abuse. Right, physical abuse. John's mother tells him that he's a no good. He's a good for nothing. and is stupid just like his father. Is that abuse? Anybody could associate with that? So it's psychological, it's verbal, it's emotional. Yes, we agree? Right, we're getting somewhere. Susan is considered a rude child, and as a result, her mother refuses to give her monies for school. Is that abuse? What type of abuse is it? Financial. Oh, yes. We're getting somewhere. It's financial abuse. And the final one. Neva is a 13-year-old girl who is often offered large sums of money by certain men in the community who says to her that they love her and want to be with her. They promise to be there and will always supply her needs. Is that abuse? Yeah, it's abuse. What kind is it? So it's sexual, yes, but I'm looking for another word there. It's assault, but I'm looking for another word there. It's grooming. You know what is grooming? He's preparing them for the kill. So in other words, he's pretending to be her friend, trying to win her trust, but his intention ultimately is to sexually abuse her. So they'll start giving them gifts, large sums of money, start telling, oh, you're beautiful. I could do this for you. I can supply these needs for you. But the intention is to abuse the child. Does anybody know about mandatory reporting? Anybody ever heard that term, mandatory reporting? So Section 27 of the Child Protection and Adoption Act of Grenada speaks to mandatory reporting. And mandatory reporting says anybody, by virtue of their employment or responsibility, has the responsibility to care for children. So a teacher, a mother, a father, yeah, caregivers, and the list goes on and on. And if you fail to report a child that you suspect to be abused or you know to be abused, you know what the law says? A fine of $5,000 or imprisonment for 3 years. That is how serious the law takes child abuse. Now, that is going to move me on to a very important aspect of the discussion tonight. Good touch versus bad touch. Anybody know what is a good touch? What is a good touch? So a good touch, yes, you're correct. A good touch basically causes the child to feel safe, comfortable, cared for. It's often done in the public domain, in open spaces. So we don't have to go down by the goat pen tonight about 11 to do it. Yeah? So a high five, a shake hand, a tap on the shoulder, that's good touch. But do you know it's a bad touch? So a bad touch causes the child to feel scared, uncomfortable, frightened, yeah? It often involves touching of private parts. Yeah? And it's done in hidden places. So as I say, let we meet down by the goat pen tonight. What are we meeting down there to do? Why are we meeting down there? Yeah? Bad touch. So as we're talking about the private parts, anybody know what are the private parts? It might sound like a silly question, but I want to ask it still. Anybody know what are the private parts? So let's list them. Breast, yeah? Vagina. So the breasts for women, the breast chest area for men, penis for men, vagina for women. And it's important to call them by the right name. Lord, there are so many names we call these parts. It's not even funny. It's important to call it by the right name because abusers use these names because they sound appealing. Dick and prick and stick and all kind of things. The abusers use those languages to get to children because it sounds appealing. There's something about it that sounds appealing and they use that to lure children to abuse them. So we're moving on with the private part still. There are others. But yes. So you have two more. Your mouth. Your mouth. No penis in mouth as children. Foreign objects. No. And your face. Anybody touching up your face could constitute sexual assault, indecent assault, sexual harassment. Yes? Those things. Now, there are some factors that contribute to child abuse. And I just want to remind us or bring to our attention some of the factors that lead to child abuse. Low self-esteem. You know, we have some children that have low self-esteem. You could see it. And sometimes as parents, the way we operate, it doesn't help them. You're stupid. You're backward. You can't learn. Ebete. So many names. You know, sometimes you hear that you're stupid so much time that you feel stupid in truth. The brain have a way of functioning that way. You know? You hear that you're so silly so many times that you actually start feeling silly in truth. Secondly, unmonitored use of technology. Parents, we have to wise up. We have our children, sometimes they're on TikTok, they're on High Five, they're on Facebook, Instagram, all kind of thing. Yeah? Snapchat. Do you know what they're posting there? I remember one time I saw one child profile and the name came up as Bad Bitch. It's your girl, Bad Bitch. And sometimes our children could be one way in front of us and another way somewhere else. Do you know what they're posting there? Do our children know that the person that they think that they're speaking to is actually the person that's there? Something to think about. Send me a picture of your vagina now. Send me a picture of your penis now. Those are some of the things persons asking them on the internet to do. And sometimes they do it. They send us pictures, and before you know it, it's posted all over social media, and they feel bad about it. Some persons want to commit suicide. Some persons want to end their life. And I say to us tonight that those things comes back to haunt you. Later on in life, you might want to get a decent job. You might want to be a teacher. You might want to be whoever in life. And those things, those mistakes, those unwise decisions comes back to haunt us. You know, sometimes technology is good, but based on how we use it, it could be to our detriment. So who need to know that you're feeling stressed today? And though you might say, I only put this status for my friends to see, somebody just had to screenshot it and send it for somebody else. Oh, I'm going down the road today. I'm going in a party I can't wait to reach. So there's a status. The abuser know where you're going. They know how you dress. They know how to plan to capture you. You ever thought about that? Something to think about. Poor communication. Gone are the days when children and parents having communication these days. Some children coming home, they don't even say good evening. A matter of fact, sometimes when you listen to how some children speak to parents, you don't know who is who. You can't tell the difference. Not even good evening, mommy. Where me food? Not even good evening. Not even good evening. Parents, a lot of us, we ain't checking bags. We ain't checking bags. So you have agriculture and science to borrow, but you have a bad suit in your bag. What's the relation? What's the relation between agriculture, science, and that bad suit in your bag? Sometimes children planning to run away and we don't know because we're not checking. And I'm saying to us, we need to bring back those kind of values. It has to come back if it is that we want to move forward. It has to. Now, children with disabilities. Do you remember the COVID-19 pandemic? Anybody remember? We were on lockdown, yeah? So think about a child that cannot walk, cannot really move, and the abuser is in the house. They're getting abused morning, noon, and night. In fact, we had those cases during COVID. Some children couldn't move, and they were abused left, right, and center. The abuser was happy because it was a prime time to abuse the child because nobody could go anywhere. We need to pay attention to that. Now, there are some signs to look for that your child may be abused. Now, I want to give that scenario. I remember a couple years ago, I was traveling on a bus. And there was this child, that child was bawling. I tell you, the child was bawling. I say, but no. Every morning, This parent come to drop this child for this care of the child bawling like that. Why the child bawling like that? But parents, sometimes we're so busy, we don't pay attention to those things. That is the child's way of talking to us to say, I'm not comfortable. I am not comfortable in that space. The child bawling, I tell you, bawling like if the child want to die. I say, but no. I say, miss, something ain't right about that, you know. Something ain't right about that. One of these days, make a little talk back. Check and see what's going on with your child. And to her greatest surprise, the same day, she went back to see what was going on. And her child was mercilessly beaten. Child was only a year. Mercilessly beaten. And so sometimes the crying is the red flag, is the sign that we need to pay attention to that something is wrong. Not that go there because I say to go there. We need to pay attention sometimes because the child was not at an age that he or she could have spoken as yet. Yes, moving on. Secondly, all of a sudden your child not interested in things that they used to enjoy. So the interest just lessen. That might be something to look at. They start sleeping. Whole day they're sleeping. That might be something to look at. You know, some children, they get frightened of some people and they're so afraid that they wet themselves. They even wet their bed. The person traumatizes them so much that if the person talks, it's like, and they will wet themselves. These are signs to look at or to look for. Starting to interact less with certain family members. Gone are the days we could say, well, she with so-and-so or he with so-and-so. They're safe, you know. These days we need to be very, very, very careful. May I inform of some of the realities in Grenada? There are some families that have some vicious cycles of sexual violence. So great-grandmother was raped, grandmother was raped, mommy was raped, and now the child is now raped. Do you know what that does? The pain that it brings, the reminder of that thing happening. Some parents use their children as objects for money. I know of situations where some parents have their children downstairs and they remain upstairs and they will bring people there to sexually abuse the child and collect the money. It happens. Do it happen in Grenada? Yes, it happens. It happens. How do you feel or how would you feel to hear that a 2-year-old was sexually molested? Mr. Richardson, does that happen in Grenada? Yes, it does. I've dealt with situations like these. And we're saying that if those things could be prevented, it would be better. Because even if you bring somebody to court, they're charged. The pain sometimes that abuse causes, sometimes with all of the counseling that you get, sometimes the pain never go away. In fact, there are a lot of things that could remind us of it and bring it back so close as if the thing just happened yesterday. And sometimes I might be speaking here now and some persons might be triggered. Because the pain never goes away. And we're saying if we could at least prevent it, please. I look at sometimes how some children dress and I wonder, do they come out in a house with parents? Are the parents really looking? A matter of fact, to make matters even worse, sometimes the parents buy the outfit, you know. The parents buy the outfit. You telling me you're only 11 years or you're only 12 years old, you live in my house 8 p.m. to go in fair. Which fair? Which fair? Parents, we need to set boundaries. That is the reason why some of our children are behaving the way they're behaving. Mr. Richardson, I can't control him now. He's a boy, he does do what he wants. Who in charge? Who in charge? I have to work. I have to clothe you. I have to feed you. And the house have rules. The house have rules. The house have rules. Moving on. In our culture here, there is something that we do and I really want us to discontinue. And I am speaking to us with the highest level of respect. Bear in mind, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, okay? Sometimes we know that there's some questionable characters, but we're still sending them to go and collect the money that we're supposed to get. Go fight for yourself, parents. Don't send them. Because some persons are questionable. You know you have some people you should never bring in your home. They're not worthy to come in your home. Because they're watching you and your children. Not you alone. Some people just good to talk to in the road. Or over the phone. They're not good to bring in your house. Because they don't know how to keep themselves to themselves. They don't know how to respect children and let children be children. They behave like mosquito in the night. They're bouncing from room to room. They're abusing from bow to stand. Children can't sleep. They have to sleep with one eye closed and one eye open. Because some people pretending they're killing mosquito, but it's not mosquito they're killing. They're looking to abuse your children. And you think it's boys, you think it's man alone? Woman too. Gone are the days when we could say, oh, it's a boy child, he go escape. None escaping these days. And the pain that abuse brings is irreplaceable. And if we can prevent it, please, by all means necessary, let's prevent it. You know, this one hurt me real deep. There are some children that have been crying out for years. They complaining to you that they are being abused. But because the abuser is the breadwinner, what hush you want? What? You want to break up me and me man? You want to break up me and me woman? You want to break up me living? I just get a good partner. What happened to you? Hush your mouth with that thing there. Huh? Hush your mouth so the child have to endure. Do you know the amount of children that endure years of abuse? Some even die in the process. May God help us. Some even die in the process. Mommy, this is happening and you think it stays there? It escalates into other things. Because the abuser realizes nothing is being done. That we are not taking a step forward. We are not taking steps in relation to this. Parents, guardians, don't put nothing and nobody in front of your children. Before you tell them they lie, try to find out. Don't just say you lie. Don't just say you're not speaking the truth. Let's find out. Let's make some time. Because guess what? The abuser have lots of time. So while you're telling him or her that they're ugly, the abuser say, oh, you're handsome. Oh, one time, And we brought the child. So mommy remained in the hospital one time. You know what I say to people? Respectfully, when we have children, we live in glass house. Don't throw stones. Because you might see somebody's child now appearing in a video, and sometimes as adults, we don't appear responsible at all. We're saying all kind of bad things about them. But sometimes you don't know when yours doing and when the video might release. And so we need to be careful what we say. We need to be responsible with our comments. Parents, we need to teach our children boundaries. Yes, a little kiss, a little tickle might feel good. But guess what, no? The kiss doesn't stay there. A kiss doesn't stay there, so you just start kissing on the face and then we just stop and talk about God and how He good. That doesn't happen. We just kiss and then we start to talk about the SBA tomorrow. That doesn't happen. It moves on into other things. And so we need to speak to our children about that. Yes, you might feel a particular way now, but these are the things that you need to do. The hard conversations. Because guess what? It's better that you know. It's better that the children are speaking to us that we have to be surprised. Certain things have to take us by surprise because we might fall along. We need to teach our children to say no. You cannot accept everything. You cannot want everything. We need to be contented. Those social graces need to come back. If we want to move forward, it has to come back. So you telling me you come home with $500 and this big, fancy, sexy perfume as my daughter, and I just accept that in the house? You're not even asking any question? There's some parents will asking nothing. Hey, girl, what? Thanks. Who bring that, girl? Thanks. Not even where you get that, who give you that, and why is you that giving? Any money have to come in the house, it comes to the parent. Why they have to be giving you money? And I said to us respectfully, these days, it's something for something, you know. Imagine people are making comments like after 12 is lunch in relation to our children. You know. What lunch you talking about? Garbage. We need to stand up as a unit and stop these things from happening. We need to stand up as a community and stamp these things out. Gone are the days of children being abused like that and we just sit there and hush and say it's not my business. It is our business. And even if they call us fast and we're out of place, we are well in place to comment or to report abuse or suspected abuse. Children, speak up. Body secrets is not okay. Be careful of strangers. How you entertain strangers, be very careful. Be careful what you do. Be careful what you put up on social media. I remember a couple years ago, we was looking for a particular child, a girl. And she know all police vehicle. Before the van reach, she gone. And we created a fake profile. Nice, handsome boy with tattoo and all kind of thing. And we started to chat. Yes? And she started saying, well, I'm Grand Anse. I'm so-and-so beach, address so-and-so place. And we were able to get her. But guess what? Let's look at the flip side of the coin. What if we were serial killers? What if we wanted to harm her? You see, sometimes our children don't think, but as adults, we need to guide them. We need to guide them through the processes and say, these are not the things that you do. You are not sure that the person that you think you're speaking to is them. Sometimes somebody put up a 14-year-old boy, so you think we're compatible, we're around the same age. But I was a 60-something-year-old man nowadays. I was a 70-something-year-old lady that day. Yes? And so we need to teach our children these values. I don't have much time. My time is running out. But thank you very much for listening to me. I wish I had more time to stay with you, that we could have spoken about that a bit longer. But thank you very much for listening. I now turn you over to the chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richardson. So we still have a couple more questions for him. So for our online community as well, Mr. Richardson, if a parent is concerned about the child being abused, or if the parent knows of another child, maybe not even their own child, but you know that child is in a difficult situation, what would you advise them to do?
So if you know or you suspect that a child is being abused, you call the Child Protection Authority. Seek help. Their numbers are 435-0293, 435-0293, 533-6990. That's the cell number. 533-6990. Or if it is that you need assistance right away, you can dial 911 and be asked to be transferred to the nearest police station for assistance. So if you know something happening right now and you need assistance right now, you can ask to be transferred through 911 to the nearest police station.
Yes, he said something yesterday at Mount Horn, which he didn't say tonight, but I'm going to say it to remind him what he said. You know, when a person has to deal with sexual abuse, it's not something that gets solved overnight. And something Mr. Richardson said was, sometimes no amount of therapy can help you get over that. It's like your whole life. And one of the things that we are trying to do with this program is to ensure that you have the awareness to prevent it. Prevention is better than cure, because for this, there's no cure. There's honestly, you need help, but we want to prevent those types of situations as much as possible. Big hand of applause for him. Thank you very much. So at the start of the session, both myself and Mr. Rush, we said that it's International Family Day tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 15th of May. And there are three things I want to just remind you of what that means for International Family Day. One, it's a day where we celebrate love, care, and unity within families. So tomorrow is a nice day for you to say to your children, let's come together. Let us celebrate as a family. Maybe let's have dinner together. Let's go for a walk together. Let's pray together. Let's do something together. The other thing is that this is not just in Grenada. So International Family Day highlights family-related global challenges. It's not only in Grenada that we are having challenges. There are family challenges all across the globe. But what we do know is that if every family around the globe pays attention, we can have a better world together. Two other things, which is what the ministry is also doing, is that International Family Day promotes policies for well-being. It's not just saying that it's a day for love, but we are trying to put in place policies that ensures that families have what they need to thrive. And lastly, International Family Day encourages global unity and sustainable family practices. So please, are you promising me tomorrow you'll do something special for Family Day? Put your hand up if you're going to do something. Only a few people will do something? Yes, join the global movement to celebrate International Family Day. Okay, so our last speaker for tonight is a lovely gentleman by the name of Mr. Andy Matthew. And Tonight, Mr. Matthew is going to be speaking about parenting in the electronic era. Mr. Matthew has been working as a social worker for over 20 years. He's worked with young people in conflicts with the law. He spent time working in England before moving back to Grenada. He worked at the Bacolet Juvenile Center for 7 years before moving to his current job at HYPE. Come on, Mr. Matthew, I have a question for you. Come, before you start your session. This gentleman is so well aware of what happens with these electronics, but I want to ask you, what inspires you to do the work that you do with youth?
I just generally have a passion for working with young people. I started volunteering back in England where I used to work with young people in conflict with the law as a youth worker. And I don't know, it just brings me a certain amount of joy. First, I worked as an accountant for years. And the fulfillment I get from working with young people cannot compare. That's it.
Thank you.
So thank you all. The chair said, my name is Andy Matthew, and tonight I'm going to try and we're going to have a little discussion on parenting in modern era with all the electronics and the technology that we have. But before we start, I want to just do a quick icebreaker. Nothing big, just a few things, okay? I'm going to show you on the paper some words, and really the words, when you look at it, when you put it together, is either a profession it would make up or a phrase or something to that effect. Okay? We tried it last night in Moncton and it went down well. So let's see how we do tonight. Okay? So the first one is this. Can you see? It has one word in the middle, which is world. And then it has one word all around it, which is all. This is like a phrase. So if I'm making a sentence like, Grenada is known. All right, so we get the hang. So I'll do another one. Your children, your child, someday might come home and say, I want to be a. Sorry, I didn't even get to come over here. This group is just banging it out. Next one. I'll start on this side before all you grab it quick. A famous performer, singer. Huh? Cardi B. Indeed. Okay, so this one is a little bit tricky. Okay?
So you count, if you notice it repeats the word. How many times does it repeat it? 4 times, okay? In front of the word there is something. What is it? A letter, E. What color is the E? So say it now. Ready. How many anything? Ready. Ready for anything. Okay? I have one more, and everybody had to get this one. Everybody must get this one. All right, here we go. Famous person in Grenada. Famous person in Grenada. Sorry, I was blocking. Go on, say it. Say what you see. No, everything. Deacon Mitchell. Deacon Mitchell, okay? So thank you. That's all I have, right? But okay. So first thing I want to ask, are we all familiar with social media? Okay, tell me what platforms you know. Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. What else? Instagram, Telegram, Spotify. All these are different apps, okay? What about everybody here is parents, so you got children. How many of those apps are your children on? Tell me. None? Okay. Which one? Instagram? Okay. Anybody else? No? How old is your child? 16? Okay. So I guess she's old enough to be responsible. But what I want to say is a lot of the times we use the devices as a babysitter. Okay, so you're in the kitchen and you're cooking or you're doing something. Your child is sitting on a chair in the front room. She might be on Instagram, or he might be on Instagram or TikTok or any other social media. But are we aware of what that child is looking at or what they're seeing? How many times do we actually go and spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes just to see what they're doing and ask them to show you, and you and them look at the program together? Do we do this? You do. Anybody else, do you do that? No. No, but that's fine. You know, she's 16. I understand you try trusting her. However, that can be very dangerous. Because the thing about social media is that it's personal between you and that other person. And like Mr. Anderson said, sometimes you don't know if that person is who they say they are. Anybody know about catfish? So catfish is a program in America where people are setting up fake profiles. Yeah? So a handsome man like me, they might see my picture on the net and take it and put it like theirs. So they are talking to the young lady, and the young lady thinks she's speaking to me. But then when you actually go to meet the person, you might see somebody with one leg, one teeth, and he looks nothing like the person on the profile. So as children, the same thing can happen to them. And Mr. Anderson also mentioned this word, grooming. Yeah, nowadays you could get instant cash. They could transfer cash from one app to the next, Cash App or whatever they call it. They have all these different things. And you might think your child is young. They don't know about it. But that big person that they are speaking to on there can set up a Cash App for them and send money to them. And at some point, blackmail them into meeting up with them. Oh, don't worry, we go meet in Umbrellas, everybody there. But while they're in Umbrellas and they're having a little soda, he slips something in their drink. Now your 16-year-old, 14-year-old, 15, 17, even 18-year-old child is now a victim. Because we are not paying attention to how it began, which is through social media. You mentioned this other app called Snapchat.
for me, it's the most dangerous. It's the most, because when you send a message, it disappears. So I can't go and check what my child is doing on Snapchat. I wouldn't see the history like WhatsApp or any other. These kind of programs, I don't believe should be available for children. TikTok, it can be fun. You could see all kind of thing on TikTok, and that's the problem as well. Because some of the things that's available on TikTok and Instagram is not child friendly. It's not for children. So we as parents need to be vigilant. We need to start going in the room and sit with our child. If your son like playing games, because sexual abuse is not just against women now. It's not just your daughters that are in danger. Your boys are also in danger. This is not about any gender in particular. This is about the safety of our children, whether it's a boy or a girl. How can we keep them safe? Your son plays games for maybe 4 or 5 hours a night, and they could be gaming against somebody else in America, in Trinidad, or right next door. And the person they're playing with next door, sometimes they have a different picture, a different name. So they don't even know it's that person. But they are divulging information to that person because they believe that person is not around. And that person could be taking advantage of that. So next time that person meet that child on the road, he could start a conversation with the child. Because he has information and the child don't know it's him. He could pretend to be the parent's friend and say, oh, I'm always around your parents' house. But really and truthfully, the little video that the child done, dancing in a room in front of the mirror, gave him information of the whole setting of the room. So now he knows who the parent is, he knows what the room look like, and that could be a conversation. That could be the start of grooming. And that could be the start of something where your child is forever destroyed. Okay? When I was in England, I was working in a home at one time where kids would semi-independent. So before they move into their own independence, they would stay in this house and you teach them life skills. And there were more than one child who suffered from sexual abuse. And one of them at night, that little girl would get up, cold sweat, crying, and all these things. And it's a regular thing. The other one was so damaged, she couldn't get rid of anything. When I say anything, even her bodily excretion, she would keep it. So she would poo in a bag and keep it. When you go into that room, the stench, because this child is so scared. She is so traumatized that she doesn't even want anybody to see what she's doing. She don't want to go in a toilet just in case somebody come there and see her or try to touch her. So she rather poo in this bag, hide it under her bed, and when she's ready, she could throw it out. This is serious. In Grenada, we are a very safe society. So we take things for granted. We don't believe that these kind of things can happen to us. But things are changing, not just technology. People are changing. The hearts of people are changing. Yeah? You see somebody's face, you don't see their heart, you don't see their thoughts. Mr. Anderson mentioned there is some people who are only good to talk on the road. Don't bring them in your house. And you should take the same thing towards the device. Because when that child is communicating with that person, in essence, they are bringing them into the house. When they take that little video inside the room, or in the kitchen, or maybe their mom bedroom nicer because the bed bigger and you have pretty thing on the bed. When they do that video and post that on social media, anyone can use that in any way. These are the things that we take for granted. And we need to wise up and make sure that our children remain safe at all times. Yeah? At all times. My daughter is 15? And sometimes I come out to work and I just go in her room. She's on her computer or on her phone. And I lie down. I'm like, what are you looking at there? Instagram. What are you looking at? And I'll spend 15, 20 minutes with her. And at some point I might say, let me see your phone. And I just take the phone and I do a quick scroll. I'm not trying to evade her privacy. But at the same time, what privacy a child 15, 14, 13, 12 should have beside when they're bathing and going toilet? I'm not saying to oppress your children. I'm not saying that you have to try and control them. But you have to be in their life. You have to understand them. I love what Miss Collette said one time. Smell them, feel them, touch them, see them. Know your children. Know what they're doing. You can't stop everything, but there are some things that you can have control over. Limit their time on that device. Speak to them. Don't do it so you're suppressing them and they feel like, you know what, Mommy just in my head all the time, Daddy just telling me this, telling me that. No, they don't make it feel like you are trying to chastise them. You're having conversations. You explaining to them, because children nowadays respond better to being told what to do. They respond better by explaining what they should be doing than being told what to do. Because this society now, we have this thing called children's rights. And by we giving them the rights, it gives them the confidence to say, you know what, I want a discussion about my life. It doesn't mean that they should ignore what the parent's saying, but they do have a right to have a conversation with you. And you'll find that most time when you have conversation with your children, the results that you get are better. Yeah? It's much better than you shouting and you're scolding and you want to beat and you want... I mean, I'm not telling you at times it doesn't go to that level. But in general, to conversate with your child is always better. The results are always better. When I was younger, I get some licks. But you know what? Yeah, I get licks. I get good licks, yeah? But with love. And you know the thing is, yeah? What I would always say is, I'm really close to my mother. I'm a mommy's boy. I don't care. I love my mom and it's not that I don't love my dad, but my mom I have a very, very close relationship with, right? And when my mom beat me, I used to be vexed with her. I go in my room, I vex. I cuss in her drawing, I cuss in her. But you see when my mom talked to me, boy, I cry in all my nose. I cry for a whole hour. No, seriously. When my mom talked to me and you know how mothers know how to give you the guilt trip. When she do that to me, I crying uncontrollably. And I'm thinking about what I done to make my mom so upset for her to talk to me in that way. But when she beat me, I don't care what I do. She hitting me. What you doing? I don't pay attention to what the problem was. I'm just upset with her. So I found for me, the talking worked a lot better. It was more effective. The licks here, my skin burn, but then I just get vexed with her and I don't really pay attention to what I done. But when she sit down and she talk to me and tell me, Andy, I love you, but you think I will sit down here and let you go through that and da-da-da-da. Lord, I'm crying until I get hiccups. My nose running, it can't stop. So maybe now we can try these sorts of things because it is very effective. People that say, oh, talk. Yes, but talking is what makes change. Talking gives us understanding. Talking helps us to resolve situation. We have our children nowadays who are conflict resolution doesn't exist. Why? Because this conversation, the ability to conversate with each other has dwindled. Why? Electronics. You have a family of 5 sitting here, all of us on the phone doing something else. When we talking to each other? When is that happening? Something happen, you get upset, you just shout, you say what needs to do, and you go back on your device. Now this child is picking up ways to cope with life. And he's seeing, and when he goes out and he has a confrontation, this is what he would do. Conversation is not in it. Conflict resolution, you do me something, I get back at you. There's nothing about us talking to each other. Okay? The electronic devices are not our enemy. But like anything else, the abuse of it and the misuse of it can be detriment to our family unit. So tonight, what I would like to stress with all of you is use it together. Spend time together. One tablet. Not all of you on a tablet. All of you put one tablet, look at a movie. Put one tablet, look at what the child wants to look at. Even if it's for 10, 15 minutes. Spend some time with them. Speak to them about the danger of going on the net. The danger of meeting people they do not know. The face doesn't have to be who is on there. Any picture can go on there. Any picture. A 90-year-old man could put a 20-year-old boy picture in there. A 14-year-old boy. Same with girls. And this child is there talking to that person because that person knows what they want and they are very clever in getting what they want. So we need to equip our children to don't fall to these kind of things, especially on the net. We can't stop them from being on the net because they need the net. They do their schoolwork, they are ChatGPT, they're doing their homework, they're doing all these things. There's a lot of brilliant stuff that comes from that. But we have to be aware of the dangers and pitfalls of using modern technology and how we can best use it for and to our advantage in Grenada. This place is too nice for us to spoil it. Yeah? We had a talk that used to say, it takes a village to raise a child. Because you know why? Everywhere I go when I was small, whatever I do, we didn't have phone like before. But before I get home, my mother know. You understand? We cared about each other a little bit more. There is children who do some videos and send to their friend who might be the same age. Not appropriate videos. And this video might move from one place to the next. Never meant to be that way. But if we don't educate our children on those kind of dangers, it's going to be a problem. Some of you might think, oh, I have my child in the house. They like their tablet. They like game. He's safe there. Nope. Cyberbullying. Have you heard about that? There is lots of children around the world who has committed suicide because of cyberbullying. And the child is too scared or ashamed to talk to their parents about it. They spend all the time in their room on the computer and their social skills is not up there. So they feel safe behind it. And even when they do feel safe, there's people who would come into their life and make them unsafe. So please, as parents, I'm begging you, pay attention to what your children are doing. Spend some time with them. Ask them about what their favorite TikTok videos are. Who's their favorite TikTok actor? Whatever it is. You go and look at it yourself. See if it's appropriate. My sons used to tell me about some songs and stuff like that. And I'm like, what? And I would go and listen and put the lyrics to see if it's good. And then we'll have a conversation about it. I'm not telling them they can't listen to it because when they're outside they probably would. But we have the conversation. So they are aware that what they're putting into them can defile them. It can have an effect on how they act later on. Okay? So I want to bid everybody a good night. And thank you very much for having me here tonight. It was a pleasure. And I hope you got something from this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews. Great job as usual. Thank you. Big hand of applause for him. Okay, you know what I've really appreciated about this little series of parenting informational sessions the ministry is doing is that it allows us to meet the people in the community, and it allows you to get to know the staff who are working with the ministry in supporting parenting education. So I want you to get to know as well our Director of Social Services with the ministry. Come, Miss Chrissy Worm Charles. And she'll say a few words to you tonight and to our viewers online. I think it's also just as important for you to get to know who are the people at the back scenes who try to organize so many of these activities and events to build our Grenada community to be a great and safe space.
Thank you very much, and good night, everyone. Night. I know it has been a very long one, right? But nonetheless, it was a very informative night, right? It's always a big, big, big pleasure to meet the people that we serve, right? At the Ministry of Social Development, we take serving very seriously. And more importantly, we take family life very seriously, right? So this year, as we celebrate International Family Day, we have to be reminded as people, as members of the villages, as members of the communities, as members of your parish, and more importantly, as Grenadians, and those online Grenadians, Caracunians, and Petit Martinicans, we are all one. And whatever we do today has implications for tomorrow, right? I mean, in social services, they have a program called 0 to 60 real quick, right? And life happens so quickly that we sometimes, when we wake up, we realize that we have grace. Well, you can't see the grace now, it's covered. But you realize that you have grace, right? And you realize that life is continuing. But we are all responsible for brightening the corner where we are. Kind words. I'm hearing trust a lot. Trust came out a lot. We too have to trust ourselves. It starts here too, huh? We have to learn to forgive ourselves too. We have to learn to let go. We also have to learn to move on sometimes. It may be difficult, huh? What I'm speaking about seems simple, but it's not. All right? But moving on, embracing change. We are living in a very dynamic society. One day children are walking, the next day they are in secondary school, right? And the next day you're a grandparent, right? But what do we do in the middle of those? As parents, we're supposed to be the groundation of our families. We are villagers, and we are called with a very serious responsibility, being each other's keeper. And we should not take that responsibility lightly. And I want to say it's very present in Grenada, and we can see it, especially when we have a disaster, hurricane. Everybody comes together as one. And so parenting is not just only for one person. Parenting, it takes a village to raise a child. All right, and we must not just speak those words, huh? We have to live it. All right, and listening too. We have to listen. People speak a lot without talking, you know that, right? Sometimes just by just looking at someone and their responses and so on, tells us a big story, a bigger story that we can probably not even imagine. And words are very, very powerful. It lasts a lifetime. I used to teach many years ago, right, at probably one of the best secondary schools in Grenada, Boca Secondary. I'm a very proud past teacher. There you go. Right, and it was really a pleasure being there. But one of the things too that I understood is the words, the power of words. The power of words. Be kind to your neighbors and be kind to children because they remember. And these words haunt them, or it even stimulates them, or it gives them courage. Sometimes when you listen to children and some of the tough times that they've had, and how were they able to maneuver it? Because granny in the village or someone in the village would say, you know, something positive to them. And those words they hold on to for the rest of their lives. And sometimes the negative ones too. Because we are what we speak to. So we have to speak it into our children. Be very careful what we say to them. Because when they grow up, that's what they expect. Negativity, because that's what they were told. Or, in essence, positivity, because we must never look at things on the negative side alone. We have to look at it in a positive way. So I could speak for the whole night, but to round it up, right? Social development is about moving you from one space to the next. It's also about listening, understanding, and improving the services that we have. Because we are serving you. All right? And just as how we have responsibilities, you guys have responsibility too as well. So together, and I'm using the word together because we are celebrating International Family Day. Together, we can do it. Grenada is not lost. We still have so many things to celebrate. So many family bonds to celebrate. All right, so let's continue to build our nation. Let's continue to be better parents, great parents, and the best parents. Right? And let us continue to be legacies. Legacies that our children will be proud of. You don't have to be a mommy or a daddy to be a parent, and we all know that. So let's continue to be in one. So thank you very much, and I know you'll be hearing a lot from the ministry as we continue to do series like these, and as we continue to meet the people that we serve. And thank you for giving us this beautiful, warm welcome in Willis. Willis is always a pleasure to be in, right? So it has been an absolute pleasure from our space, and we're looking forward to building better and stronger families and communities. So thank you very much, and thank you for having us.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Chrissy Worm-Charles. Amazing lady. And I have two more things for you before we break for the night. So the staff of the ministry, could you please come up? Come up. I want you to get to know these amazing people who are working so hard in the background, trying to bring services to the community. So they'll just introduce themselves. Well, Miss Jeffrey, you know already. Come. Just quickly say who you are and what you do.
Pleasant good evening to all. My name is Tamika Moses. I am attached to the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Parenting Unit as a liaison officer.
Good night, everyone. My name is Hazel Lokaibi, attached to the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Parenting Liaison Officer.
Good night, everyone. The same ministry, Tomisha Nicholas, and I'm a liaison officer.
Good night, everyone. My name is Vashti Joseph, Parenting Liaison Officer.
Good night, everyone. My name is Shawnelyn Hall, attached to the Parenting Unit.
Good night, everyone. Anderson Richardson, Gender Program Development Officer, Head of the Men's Bureau.
A pleasant good night, everyone, and I hope we are doing fine. My name is Merlin Sanderson, and I'm a parenting facilitator. I wish you all the best. Good night.
Okay, so we really want to let them know we appreciate their work and we appreciate their involvement in the community as they work with people in the community. All right, have you enjoyed today? Was it good? It was too short? Okay, so we'll have to have longer sessions. So we are going to end the evening with one last activity. It's International Family Day tomorrow, and I want us to remember it's not only about our family. It's about the next family next door. It's about the person sitting next to you. So we are going to move around the room, and I want you to wish several people by going around, Happy International Family Day. And you are going to say, listen well, Happy International Family Day. I want to wish your family love, peace, prosperity, and joy. Whatever you want to wish the family, I want you to wish it from your heart. So wish somebody else and many people Happy International Family Day and wish them something. You can even give them a hug as well if you're comfortable. So come, let's move around. Come, get up. Come on, we have to move around. Each person should try to reach to at least 5 or 6 people. Come, let's come out here. Yeah, try to go to at least 4 or 5 people. Happy International Family Day. I want to wish you and your family love, joy, and happiness. Thank you. Happy International Family Day. I want to wish you and your family joy, love, peace, and all the happiness. Thank you. Happy International Family Day. I want to wish your family love, joy, and peace. Thank you. Happy International Family Day. I want to wish your family love, joy, and peace. Thank you. Happy International Family Day to you and your family. I want to wish you, thank you, love, joy, peace, and prosperity. Happy International Family Day. Thank you. I want to wish your family love, joy, and peace and prosperity. Thank you. For the treats, do they just come here? Do they just come? So we have some treats for you, and I'd like to invite you over to this side where you can receive a drink and a box of treats. Thank you everybody for being here tonight. Great job, Willis. Thank you.